Hello! It has been a really long time since I spoke to you all. I realise that. First of all, let's address the hair. I've been wanting to get it cut for a really long time, and you've probably noticed over the years that it's getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and maybe 2 or 3 months ago I just thought, no, I've had enough, that's it. Getting the chop. So the chop it got. I have absolutely loved it. If you are based in the UK, you will know that we've been having the most glorious weather. If not, we've been having, I don't know, like 24 to 28, 29 degree days most days for the last month, and it's been amazing. But I don't really like the heat, and also my hair is really thick, so over the summers I used to get so hot and like bogged down, and just having short hair has been absolutely amazing. I sent a photo of myself to a friend who'd been quite against me getting my hair cut short, and the response that I got back was along the lines of, oh my gosh, I feel like there's a short-haired girl in you who's always been crying to be let out. And I was like, I know, and you were against this. So yeah, I have short hair now. I don't really know what else to say, but I wanted to chat to you all because I've been getting loads of comments on my old videos, and I think there's a few people who are going through and rewatching them, and then they're getting to the last video that I posted and saying, oh, it's been months since you last posted and we're really sad. And I've been wanting to talk to you all for a little while, but I don't know, it's just, you know, life. So what has been going on? From a non-crafty point of view, I have passed 2 exams this year. I have been getting more embedded in my job, and I sort of know-ish what I'm doing now. I've obviously moved house. I'm getting to figure out who I am again. I went through quite a big change at the beginning of the year and have been trying to just figure out what my identity is, and I don't really know what it is. I did post quite a long blog post about this, I'll make sure the link is down below, but basically just about figuring out who I am, and actually I am still a knitter, at least. So I did start doing quite a lot of knitting, and I've been getting slowly back into the craft bandwagon, but it doesn't really go particularly well with accounting or studying rather, because I just have to spend so much time studying, and when I'm not studying I'm thinking about studying, and I'm feeling like I ought to be studying. So yeah, I've been finding it really difficult to juggle that stuff, but I do actually have some accomplishments from a crafting point of view, so I will be sharing those with you very shortly. I went to London for college in April, and I tried to film something interesting for everyone, but there wasn't really, I don't know, I'll have a look through the footage again and just see if there's anything of particular interest, but in my opinion there wasn't. It was just me talking about accounting, and I don't know if any of you are particularly interested in that. I'm a year into my qualification now. I've got at least another 2 years left, dependent on being signed off experience-wise, and work is tough, really tough. I'm in work by 7:30 most days. I do normally leave at about 5, and my work is really good. Like, they're pretty good at letting you have flexi time if they know that you do your hours and you get your work done. But it's hard work. There's a lot going on, and I'm inexperienced, and my team, there was a lot of change last year, so there's quite a lot of new people on the team. They're not so new anymore, so we're all starting to find our feet a bit more, but it has been a really difficult 6 months from a work point of view. Tonks update. Tonks is really happy on the farm still. She is living her life as a dog. She goes for long walks on Dartmoor like she used to back in the day, and Mum sent me a photo of her sleeping on the dog bed the other day. She doesn't really recognise, or no, she recognises me. She doesn't really acknowledge me anymore when I go home. She's all about my uncle now. Yeah, she is lovely, and I sometimes post photos or videos of her on her Instagram page, so I will also put a link to that down below. Let's talk about craft. So let me get it. I don't think there's been any progress on this, but I'll get it and show you where it is. So the 12 Days of Christmas sampler, I think I have made a little bit of progress because it's been such a long time since I filmed, but here it is. Yeah, I don't think I've worked on this for at least 2 months. That's pretty bad, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know if it'll be done for Christmas, but we'll see what happens. It's actually looking a bit grubby, to be honest. It's been sitting by the window, and we've had builders in the house, or like outside the house, so it's got a bit dusty, but it's fine. I don't know if my goal is still to finish it for Christmas. I'm not even sure if I really like it anymore, but yeah, I might just finish it and then gift it to somebody, because I don't like leaving things unfinished. From a cross-stitch point of view, I am actually working on a joint project with somebody else, so I can't give too many details because I'm not sure who watches my channel. But there is an event happening later on in the year, and a friend and I are working on a cross stitch for it. I will share it with you at some point. My friend is currently working on it until my exam in September, and then I've got 3 weeks between my next exam and the following course starting, when I'm gonna have to like really blast out the cross stitch and try get it done so that we can get it to a framers on time, and that will be really nice. I'll share all the details of that with you when it happens, but I obviously I can't show you any details or tell you any more about it, because if this person does watch my channel then they'll know. I have been doing other stuff as well. It's quite funny when you think, oh, I don't really craft anymore, and then you collate all the stuff that you've been working on, and actually it turns out you have. So I got asked about my Ashford Kiwi spinning wheel in one of the comments that I recently received, and I think the last time I filmed it I either had some green fluff on it that I was spinning or some yellow fluff that I was spinning, and I finally finished the green fluff, if that was what it was, and also the yellow fluff. I've not got the green yarn out, but this is the yellow. It came free with the wheel when I bought it in April 2000 and it was only 2017, it's not been that long. But it has taken me a really long time to spin this. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. It came up much thicker than I'd planned, because half of it sat on the wheel for such a long time that I'd forgotten how thick I was spinning it by the time I came back to doing it. So I think it would make quite a nice hat. I had earmarked it for a shawl to be done with a red yarn and made into the Wonder Woman shawl, but I'll make sure the link to the Wonder Woman shawl is down below. You can get it on Ravelry, but yeah, it's too thick because it needed to be a 4-ply, and this is more like an Aran weight. If you don't know anything about knitting, this is just too thick basically, but I think it'll make a great hat, so that's what I'm debating at the moment. I've got some other fluff on my spinning wheel at the moment. It's called Cinderella's Slippers, and it's by Spin City UK, Louise. And I can't show it to you right now because my spinning wheel lives in the lounge downstairs, and there is no way that you can see anything in there at the moment because it's like pitch black, but and the lights are awful. But I will put a photo here, and I'm spinning it really finely, and I've got 300 grams of it, so I'm thinking when I'm done with it, it's a really beautiful pastel purple colour, and it would make quite a nice really lightweight shawl, which I've been craving in this weather because it's not often cool enough to require something to cover your shoulders, but something really lightweight would have been perfect. And the yarn that I'm spinning, it's the finest I've ever spun, and I'm loving it. I'm watching TV while I'm doing it, so I'm a bit of a sci-fi fan, and there's a series called The Expanse on Netflix, and I have read the books. It's by James Corey, I think it's James Corey, and they've adapted it for TV, for Netflix, and I'm halfway through the second season, but I've been watching that while I've been spinning, and it's been a really nice revision break, to be honest with you. I have a finished object as well. I will show it to you, but it's not going to be shown off to its best advantage. I've been trying to get a photo of it, but it's quite hard to take photos of things like this by yourself, so I need to ask one of my housemates or one of my friends to do it, and also frankly it's been too hot to wear, so I feel like I'm speaking a million miles a minute. This is Ginny's cardigan from the Interweave Harry Potter knits that was published in 2013. The pattern on the back is just gorgeous. It's meant to be owls, inspired by Ginny Weasley from Harry Potter, and I just love it. And these are the buttons. I'm sure you can probably hear my housemate singing through the wall. That's the button. So yeah, I started this in late June. The yarn used to be a dress, so I don't know if you can tell through the camera, but I've lost a lot of weight over the last couple of years. I wasn't very happy with my health, and I wanted to just be a bit healthier, so I started running loads and also eating much better, so I've lost quite a few dress sizes. My goal wasn't really weight loss, but anyway, So I had this dress, the Icon dress, I'll pop a photo here, which I knitted in 2015, and it was 3 sizes too big for me, and there was £70 worth of Knit by Numbers by John Arbon, this gorgeous wool, and I didn't want to leave it just waiting for me to put weight on again, or give it to somebody else, or I don't know, just leave it in my wardrobe waiting for nothing. So I unravelled it. It wasn't that difficult. I had so many people saying, oh my gosh, how could you take something that took you so long to do and just unravel it? And actually it was a really cathartic process for me, just reclaiming the yarn and then washing it and making sure it didn't have too much damage to it, removing any felted bits, and I don't know, just sort of saying, okay, this had a life and now it's something else and I'm gonna get joy out of it. I got joy out of knitting it, I got joy out of wearing it when it was a dress, I quite enjoyed unravelling it, and now I'm going to get joy out of it as a cardigan. This was informally my World Cup cardigan. I'm a bit of a football fan, and I knitted it over the course of the World Cup. I think it probably only took me it took me 4 weeks to knit the whole thing, and then about a week of revision breaks to sew the buttons on. So I allowed myself to sew a button on every time I worked for an hour at revision. Took quite a while. I find revising really difficult. So yeah, you will be seeing more of this. I absolutely love it. And there is one more thing, which is a work in progress. The Interweave magazine, I haven't got it here. I'll make sure there's a link to it in the description box. It was published in 2013. It was all patterns inspired by characters or stories or things, items from Harry Potter, and I have had it. One of my really lovely American friends sent it to me, and I've had it for a little while, and then when I was going through my stash the other day putting some yarn away, I found this beautiful yarn. Let me get it out. From Creative Yarns in New Zealand. So I bought this when we went to Auckland in 2015. A lot of things happened in 2015, and it's just sat in my stash ever since. I've got 400 grams of it, and there is, let me check, about 410 meters per hank. And I really wanted to do something meaningful with this, like knit a garment, but there wasn't enough. 400 grams, 800 meters is not really enough for a cardigan or anything. So I had a scroll through the Interweave book, and I found this sort of like sweater vest thing that was inspired by Luna Lovegood in it, and it's got this beautiful cable and lace pattern. So this is where I am at the moment. I don't know how well you can see the details of it. But it's got these cables and then these like eyelet bits in between, and then it's also got these bits here of reverse stocking stitch, and when you get to the top and you start binding off, you drop the middle stitch here, so it's got these massive runs that run all the way down the jumper, because it's supposed to be, the story is that I can't remember what the creature's called, Heliopath, something like that. I'm going to put a little thing flashing on the screen right now to say what it actually is. Floats through Luna's brain while she's knitting, and she drops a stitch because she forgets it, and I thought that was really cute, because I still don't really have enough of this yarn to do the whole sweater vest. I'm doing the edging in it's a Morris & Sons. It's a 4-ply yarn that I'm holding double to make up to an Aran weight. I bought this in Sydney on my birthday, when we were in Sydney in 2015, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this project. I can only do a couple of lines at a time because there's a lot going on. There's cables, there's there's cables, there's needlework. There are really long rows, and also I'm normally doing it in like my revision breaks, so I'm quite aware that if I do more than 2 or 3 rows, then I've taken up more time from a revision break than I really ought to be. I think that's all I have to say about it. I'm not sure. It's a sweater vest, so it'll stop here, and I don't really wear stuff like that, so I'm not 100% convinced at the moment that I will really wear something like that. But when I showed it to Ricky, who I'm sure many of you will remember from previous videos, he had just been to World of Wool, which is a massive wool warehouse in Leamington Spa, I think, somewhere up north, and he said that he'd seen some fluff that looked a lot like this colour. So I thought, I've asked him to bring a sample of it so that I can have a look at the colour of it when I next see him, which will be next week sometime. And if I think it matches this closely enough, I might buy some of it and then spin an Aran weight yarn and make longer sleeves and then drop the stitches down the sleeves, so there's that continuity with the pattern, but also then I can have a long sleeved sweater rather than, or cardigan, rather than a sweater vest, which I'm not really, it's a bit preppy for my style. I'm a bit more chaotic than that. I hope that makes sense. I think that's pretty much the update. You have no idea how glad I am that I've managed to sit here and talk for this long. The last video that I filmed in this room, which I think was also the only one, I got interrupted by my housemate halfway through because we were going out. So yeah, bit of chaos, but it's fine. I'm so glad I finally sat down, and hopefully the editing process will go well and I will be able to film again. I'm feeling inspired by all the lovely comments. I did in fact want to mention the most recent two because you've been lovely and I really appreciate your comments. So Caterpillar Cross Stitch, who commented on my starting and finishing your cross stitch video, thank you so much for your comment. And then the one who really spurred me on was Carol Courtney, who obviously had a couple of days where she just binge watched my videos, and I kept getting these really nice notifications by email saying that I'd had comments on videos, and I was at work and I was having a really horrible day and I was just like, oh, I really miss YouTube and doing this kind of thing. So there we go. It's not really a floss tube video anymore, so if you came here for floss tube or even Farm Fridays, I'm really sorry, it's not what you really signed up for, but I hope you found it interesting anyway, and if anybody would like to know any more about any of the things that I'm doing, I will make sure to tell you. I'll make sure there are links to all the patterns and yarns and fibres that I've used down below, and I will see you all next time, which will hopefully be soon. Bye!